Hi everyone, Sean Walpin with Secure Cyber, and this is your weekly cyber update. Well, there was something interesting that happened on our YouTube channel. There was a short that was released, and also the full YouTube video was out there as well, still is, where I brutally mispronounced the word cisternals. What I meant to say was cisinternals, and I don't know why I said it like that. I even looked at my notes just now and I wrote it the wrong way, although it's been 20 years since I've looked at those tools. So we're just going to chalk that up to me being old, and I just mispronounced it. So thank you to the two YouTube viewers out there that I had communication with in the comments. At least they were lighthearted about it. I wasn't happy about it, but apologize for that. Mistakes will happen. We'll just get right into the vulnerabilities, and one of the ones that we looked at this week was by Trimble, and it's for software called CityWorks. It's GIS software. And Trimble has notified users that there have been detected unauthorized access for partner-hosted software as well as on-prem software as well. So Trimble has provided guidance on how to remediate this and provided some updates that are available. And they've issued some guidance. If you're hosting your own Trimble server or CityWorks server, or you have access to one, there's some guidance out there using their support portal where you can get information on how to secure your environments even more. I'm not sure if this is a situation where customers got systems deployed and maybe they just didn't follow the guidance, or if Trimble was loose on their guidance and maybe they're just trying to trim it up now. But regardless, if you have CityWorks hosted or you're using it in an on-prem environment, go take a look at the notes and look at the bulletin that's out there and take action if necessary. And in more bad news about U.S. telecommunications networks, Salt Typhoon and Red Mike, which is also a Chinese threat actor, have gotten access to about 1,000 more Cisco devices that have vulnerabilities from 2023. So this is an interesting story about how we continue to have vulnerable internet-facing accessible devices out there. I believe one of the reports I found said that there were 12,000 Cisco devices that meet this criteria that are exposed and vulnerable. Of those, 8% of the ones that were compromised made up mostly India, Africa, and the United States. So again, this is the story of patching your stuff. If you have old devices that are out there and they're internet facing, you have to pay closer attention to them because they're vulnerable. Additionally, they may have access behind them to critical things like our telecommunications network. So please, if you have access or manage these types of devices, please take a look at them, replace them if they're too far out of date and you can't upgrade them. Most vendors, if not all vendors, provide security updates for free. At least I hope they do. But if your device is end of life and it's too old, it may not be able to be upgraded. So just more bad news on the telecom side. And the last article we have this week, Fortinet again in the news with a vulnerability with FortiOS. I'm just going to say it this way. A lot of times when these bulletins come out like this, or these articles that you see, it makes it look like there's a brand new vulnerability and it's being taken advantage of. In this particular case, when it was originally reported, it was said that it was a 0-day, and it was not. So they were still exploiting the old vulnerability from 2024. And if you have patched that in a reasonable amount of time, you were already protected from a new vulnerability that have popped up in 2025 this year involving FortiProxy and some bypass stuff for FortiOS. The main message here, see previous article that I talked about with the Cisco devices and not patching them. You have to patch internet-facing devices quickly. You can't go 3, 4, 5 years or months without patching these devices because of the accessibility. There are a lot of bulletins out there, and Fortinet specifically publishes really good information on how to secure edge devices. A lot of this we've talked about it here many times, a lot of this has to do with securing those devices so that they can't be seen externally. And the way that you do that is through some rules indicating that locking down specific IP addresses that can only view them externally. And this applies to anything, Sonic Wall, Palo Alto, anything. So please, number one, patch your external devices. If you have a Fortinet firewall or FortiGate firewall, please patch it to the latest guidance. Also, take a look at your manufacturer, whether it's Cisco, Fortinet, whoever. Please look for hardening guides. That's what you want to look for. Get the latest secure guidance from the manufacturer on how to make your device more secure and how to reduce its exposure to the internet. That's all we have for this week. I appreciate your time. I will be on the road the next 2 weeks, so the weekly cyber updates are going to look a tad bit different. I hope to keep it entertaining for you and film these on the road so that you can see what I'm doing. I will be traveling with another coworker. Our director of sales, Kyle Zek, will be going with me. We're headed to the Idaho National Labs in Idaho Falls, so that should be really exciting. We're going to look at the Cybersecurity Center. That's a Department of Energy facility, and they have a great cyber center specifically around water, wastewater, and power. So I hope to bring you some, as much as they'll let me film it, bring you some information about what's going on at that facility and what we have in store for the Ohio region through our nonprofit, the Go Cyber Collective. What we have in store there of trying to bring some of that content that's out in Idaho Falls here to the Midwest. I'll also be speaking at a conference in Las Vegas next week called Right of Boom. The Right of Boom conference is in Las Vegas. I'll be speaking on a panel talking to many MSPs and MSSPs about how Secure Cyber commercially was able to get our fractional CISO service up and running and how it's been a success. Our VP of Advisory, Chad Robinson, runs that program here at Secure Cyber, and I encourage you to, well, one, if you're going to be at the Right of Boom conference, please come look me up. I would love to meet you. And two, just look for some of those clips on the road. Now, if you'd like to follow me a little bit closer, and I've typically not done this, but I'm willing to do this, you can follow me on X. It's Cyber Waldman is my handle. And I'm going to try something new, and I'm going to try and post some more behind the scenes type things on my X feed, as well as following me on LinkedIn. I'm typically a LinkedIn poster, and that's where some of that goes, but I feel like a lot of that behind the scenes stuff that I'd like to do, and more of that type of thing. Now you'll see other things about me. You'll see that I'm an aircraft geek and also some other stuff. I'm a weather guy too. So if that interests you, follow me on X, and we'll try and keep the trip updated on X so you can see like what we're doing. It should be interesting, but we'll be on the road the next 2 weeks. So thanks for watching. I appreciate your viewership. Like and subscribe the video. Share it with other people, please. We're trying to grow the membership, and I appreciate it is growing, and I appreciate that very much. Comment in the videos as well. And if you're in the Dayton region, check us out. Check our nonprofit out, gocybercollective.org, gocybercollective.org. We meet the third Wednesday of every month. Next Wednesday is our monthly meeting. And I really think you would enjoy that. If you're in the Dayton, Cincinnati, Columbus area, we get a lot of members who come in for that. We get about anywhere between 60 and 90 people a month who come in, free breakfast, completely free event. And if you're a vendor and you'd like to sponsor that and you'd like to have an opportunity to speak to our group, please also reach out to us on gocybercollective.org. There's a form that you can fill out, a communication form, and we'd love to talk to you. So that's it for this week. And hey, let's be careful out there.